Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
Hey, what's going on, family? Welcome to another great episode here on the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day. Whether it's politics, pop culture, sports, or the latest buzz, look, we're diving deep and we're keeping it real. So do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. Look, on tonight's conversation, prominent HBCU Tuskegee University. Remember that Tuskegee Airmen? One of the historic universities has announced that they will be making a change to their dress code. And I'll be honest, I'm a fan of it. I like this new policy. Let me know what you think in the comments, but I don't mind it. Also, a lot of news involving NFL stars. So you got former NFL stars. So you got LaShawn McCoy, former running back of the Philadelphia Eagles. I think he got a ring with the Kansas City Chiefs. He's low key. I think he's throwing shade. I'll show you the clip, but he's kind of taking a dig at Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark, another former NFL star, also co-host of the popular sports podcast, the Pivot Podcast. Ryan Clark was one of the individuals who was recently laid off from ESPN. Ryan Clark, after close to 11 or 12 years on the network, he was let go, and he shared his he shared his opinion on the podcast, and he got very emotional too. He got very emotional. Some folks, saying, "Oh my gosh, calm down," and some just saying, "Hey, look, man is vulnerable, and it's okay for a black man to cry, right?" And so we're gonna talk a little bit about that. Also, imagine going to Las Vegas. Now, I love Las Vegas. I've been once. Would love to go again. Had a wonderful time. But I did the bad thing, and I went in June. It was hot as you know what in June in Las Vegas. I think it was 112 degrees. I'm from Virginia, where Virginia is already record heat if we hit 101, right? I have never felt 112 degrees. I didn't think that was possible. I didn't think people should even be allowed outside when it's 112 degrees. That being said, imagine you going to Las Vegas. You're going to get your gamble on, going to a nice bar, club, going to a nice sporting event. And then you also have great concerts. But imagine going to a Las Vegas residency to listen to gospel legends. Huh? Hold up. Sin City? Which, I guess since it's called Sin City, why not? You need more gospel residencies. But yeah, we got a few gospel legends that will be teaming up for a Las Vegas residency, first ever gospel residency out in Las Vegas. So I'm very curious to read more or to share more about this with you all later on in the show. Also, former NFL player Jay Feely. Now, you probably have that face expression like, who the hell is Jay Feely? He was a kicker. That's why you don't know him. But if you're a football fanatic like myself, then you are aware of who Jay Feely is, especially if you played Madden and stuff like that. But Jay Feely is the GOP nominee for Arizona's 1st congressional district. Now, he is criticizing schools. He recently has criticized schools for teaching not teaching slavery, but teaching about slavery. He's saying, well, nah, let's not talk about slavery. Let's not talk about that. No, let's skip over that. No. See, Black history is American history, my friends. As much as everybody, and it's so interesting because I've saw people make little jokes about, man, you guys get a whole month. Really? You guys get a whole month. We get 30 days that's marketed to say, hey, look, if you see a black person, tell them hi. if you always if you forgot who Martin Luther King is, this is the month that you need to learn who Martin Luther King is, or Malcolm X, or uh um oh my goodness, Madam CJ Walker, right? Shirley Chisholm. Only in the month of February you need to learn about these folks. See, that's where you know, I want to kind of go back on that. Every day is Black History for me. Every day is Black History, and I highly recommend folks to, as much as y'all research the founding fathers, as much as you research this and that, you need to just learn it on a regular, not just for the month of February. Okay. Now, yes, is it acknowledged primarily in February? Yes. Hey, good for us. But at the end of the day, every day is Black history is American history, and it should be taught in school just like any other part of American history, because you need to learn the good and the bad of what occurred in our American history. Okay, I digress from that. And then also on the show, we gonna talk about South Carolina Representative James Clyburn, who happens to be up for re-election. 86 years old, by the way. Yes, he is running for re-election. When is the man going to sit down? Who the hell knows? I wish he did. But he was initially, I think he was contemplating not running for re-election. And then all of a sudden, he now announced that he's running for re-election. Look, James Clyburn has done great stuff while serving in Congress. I mean, if you think about it, he was the individual that got Joe Biden elected as president. He had a strong position, a strong part in getting Biden elected as president. Now, me personally, I think when you have a line of elected officials that are, I don't know, I mean, that can eat for free at Golden Corral, or 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 yeah, never mind. Let me not continue to criticize. But I'm not a fan of these old folks running for reelection. Him, Maxine Waters, Mitch McConnell still is an elected official, yet he's just now come out of the dark. Everybody, no one knew what was going on. Where's Mitch? Where's Mitch? Where's Mitch? Mitch had been hospitalized for a while. He's been ghosting, and now it's him and his wife showing the picture. It's disgusting, because for me, I hate to see folks leave this earth while serving a position they've been serving for years and years and years. I'm sorry. I'm not. And then on top of that, these old folks really can't relate to everyday America, especially new voters, right? Young voters too. It don't make sense. It does not make sense. So we're gonna talk about a little bit of James Clyburn, because, well, he was on a recent podcast called America Actually, and he said that Black voters let Kamala Harris down. Do you sure that's what is that all, James? I don't think so. I don't think so. And if we have some time, I'll also discuss a breaking story that happened in Hawaii, where the current lieutenant governor was indicted on some bribery charges and some other charges too. So we're going to talk about that here on the Arrington Gavin Show. As always, family, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule. This is episode 639. You know how to follow us, obviously, on Instagram. If you don't, well, I'm gonna say it. Instagram at the Arrington Gavin Show, X at AG Show Live. Okay, you can also check out our website, www.theagshow.com. Those are ways you can hit me up, follow up with recent episodes. We drop new episodes weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts, you can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. Again, bold opinions, real talk, and unfiltered. What else we got going on? Oh, do me a favor, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, please do so. We want to continue to grow our channel. We see growth each and every day, growing in our numbers and whatnot. I mean, I couldn't thank you all enough for your support. Social media as well is growing. Viewership is growing. We have amazing guests from all walks of life on, but we want to continue to just spread the word about the show, and again, just continue to grow. So if you could do me a huge favor, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have a goal to hit 5,000 subs. So yeah, check that out. You can also share with a friend, share with family. We want to continue to grow and get the message out there. Alrighty then, folks. And you can also check us out on GoatVerse TV. The GoatVerse TV app is available in the App Store, Google Play Store, Roku, as well as Amazon Fire TV. I hope you all had a wonderful day today. I hope you enjoyed our last program where we didn't have a guest on the last show. I'm losing my days here. No, we didn't have a guest. What was I talking about? Oh, the LeBron. Yeah. That LeBron news with him signing with the Philadelphia 76ers. And it's, it's interesting because I shared my take, and it wasn't like, oh my gosh, you signed with Philly. I looked at it as just another vet signing with a team. And that's no disrespect to LeBron. He's one of the greatest for sure. But I just think personally, at the age of 41 in his career, does this signing truly help Philly's chances on winning a championship? I'll be honest, I don't really think so. Now they're gonna try to continue to build almost like a slight super team around them with a lot of pieces. You have Jaylen Brown, who got traded from the Boston Celtics with no one knows why the hell they would do such a thing, but they did. You still got Joel Embiid, so now he got some true, he got some bodies on there now, which it helps him because he's injury prone. He can't do it all by himself. He does need the assistance. And to me, I looked at it as like whatever. Now, don't get me wrong, I might be a little biased because, hey, I'm still on my high of my Knicks win. I am still on my high from that. But we are the team to beat now. Okay, we are the team to beat. And as of right now, we only lost maybe like one or two key players now. Michael Robinson was a huge loss, right? We need to keep as many big men as we can, but we did inherit. Oh man, who do we sign? Drummond, and so Andre Drummond, I believe, and so we still got another big man in replacement of Mike Robinson. So we'll see how that goes. Now the Eastern Conference is gonna be a very competitive conference this upcoming the next NBA season. But going back to LeBron, something that didn't dawn on me was, and a friend of mine brought it up. It's like, okay, you do realize every team LeBron has signed with, he has won a ring with them. First, it was Miami. He got 2 rings with them. Then he went on to sign back with the team that drafted him in the Cleveland Browns. I mean, excuse me, Lord have mercy. I'm tired, y'all. The Cleveland Cavaliers. He signed with Cleveland and won them their first. Okay. And then he ended up signing with the Los Angeles Lakers. And they won one in the bubble. Not really an interesting, championship, but they won. So every team he's played for, he has won a championship. So could that streak continue? This is the final team that he will be playing for in his 24, going on a 24th season in the NBA. Now he signed a 2-year deal, so he could possibly stop at 25 and just say, call it a career. But again, we will see. So yeah, we spoke about that, and we had discussed the divide between the socialist, progressive movement of the left and the establishment, and can the socialism movement or the progressive movement primarily, can they win the election? Can they really grow the Democratic Party? And we spoke about that on the last show. So if you have not checked that out, please check out episode 638 available now on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts and all that good stuff, y'all. So again, for those who are watching, you see at the bottom, like, subscribe this video. If you happen to be watching us on Facebook, like and follow. I truly appreciate that as well, my friends. Well, look, we're going to head to a quick commercial break. Do not go anywhere. You're listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. We'll be right back after this.
Every man has a story to tell. Your ambitions, your achievements, your legacy. Your suit should reflect that story, crafted precisely, designed for impact, and tailored exclusively for you. We work with only the finest fabrics, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends from world-renowned mills in Italy, the UK, and India. These fabrics are the foundation of custom suits that exude elegance and stand the test of time. But a suit isn't just about fabric, it's about fit, and it's about confidence, and it all starts with you. When you work with me, you'll receive a personalized consultation, whether in person or over Zoom. Together, we'll explore your vision and discuss your needs, and we're gonna bring your ideas to life. My journey as a designer includes apprenticing under New York-based designer Clyburn Leonard, showcasing collections at New York Fashion Week, Algeria Fashion Week, and the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. That experience is what we bring to every suit we create, from weddings to corporate events and everything in between. We specialize in crafting one-of-a-kind suits for life's most significant moments. Dapper Luke has been recognized as one of Baltimore's best menswear in 2023, and I was honored to be one of the 10 designers selected for the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. With over 900 satisfied clients, we proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore, bringing world-class designs to these incredible communities. We don't just make suits, we craft confidence. Your suit will fit your body, your style, and it will tell your story. Book your free online personal consultation today. Visit www.dapperluke.com.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to
And we still in traffic.
Don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up.
Yeah, that's that new Gold Verse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of the app he said?
Introducing GoatVerse TV.
GoatVerse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In GOATs, we trust.
6'10", number one pick, 16 seasons, college player of the year, all-rookie standout. Joe Smith built a career on grit, consistency, and showing up.
Greatness isn't just about the game. It's about how you show up every day. Rugged Evolution now offers body care products for every man, because not every man wears a beard, but every man deserves care. Greatness doesn't fade.
It evolves. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Every beard deserves to be legendary, and every man deserves care.
All right, family, welcome back to the show. I want to get it going with our first story about this new dress code that was shared by that's happening at Tuskegee University. That's right, Tuskegee University. Let me go ahead and put up this article here from Essence magazine. So you see it right there, my friends. New Tuskegee University dress code policy bans bonnets and do-rags. Let's talk about it here, my friends. So Tuskegee University is trending in the news, but not for anything related to the iconic Tuskegee Airmen or the school's other notable alumni like civil rights activist Dr. Betty Shabazz, R&B legend Lionel Richie, or radio personality Tom Joyner. This time, the Alabama HBCU is growing viral for enforcing campus wardrobe standards. Now, the new dress code, which is causing quite a stir online, prohibits Tuskegee University students from wearing bedroom slippers, bonnets, and do-rags in classrooms and the cafeteria. This recently announced update to the dress code policy and behavioral standards will reportedly go into effect for students beginning in the 2026-2027 academic school year. Revealing clothing will also be banned in classroom, dining areas, and official universities events such as convocation. Now, students attending professional events or business meetings must wear business suits and appropriate footwear under the updated, according to the media outlet al.com. Now, but is this policy really new is a question that they provided. According to Tuskegee's University official website, the storied school had similar policies in place as recently as last school year ahead of the 2026 commencement. Below is an excerpt. Okay, so this excerpt here, dress code for the class of 2026 spring graduation, and it states all degree candidates should dress in a manner appropriate for the dignity and solemnity. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Of the university's commitments exercises. All degree candidates must wear academic regalia, which is caps and gowns, to the commencement exercises. Graduates should wear black shoes and clothing that harmonize with academic regalia. Sneakers, fuzzy slippers, flip-flops, and Crocs of any kind are not allowed. And heeled shoes over 4 inches in height are prohibited. Please note that dress attire will be enforced. Those not in dress attire will be removed from the line march. Now, we understand that some graduates may have culture or personal preference for dress attire, and those who need to wear specific attire for religious or cultural purposes, hijabs, etc., are welcome to do so. However, for those outside of those specific needs, we ask that you respect formality of the occasion and adhere to the dress code guidelines. We want to ensure that our graduates are presented in a uniform manner and that the focus remains on celebrating your academic achievements. I'll be very honest, my friends. I love this rule. I have nothing against it. I don't know why folks who are frustrated of it. To me, I look at this as continuing to help grow and make our culture better than what it currently is. You know what I mean? Because see, the outside world already puts a stigma. They judge you already. They judge you by your skin. They judge you by your if you have tattoos. Look, I have tattoos. I'm going to be judged by tattoos, or depending on how you dress. Everybody is judged from the outskirts, right? They're always judged by a cover. And hell yeah, why would, for me, and I'll be honest, just this is set aside from being at for a Tuskegee or a university policy perspective, but I personally can't stand when I see folks wearing bonnets and slippers going to the grocery stores. I'm sorry, like if I'm like leaving church and it's or leaving anywhere and it's like 12 something in the afternoon, 2 something in the afternoon, I see people wearing pajamas like they just got a bed. I'm sorry, I'm like, ugh. Now who am I to judge, right? I don't say anything. They if they want to look like that, go ahead. And they could be very successful, or they could be living on hard time. I'm just saying it's not my cup of tea. Now, don't get me wrong. Do I love being comfortable? Yes, but there's certain attire that is respectful and comfortable at the same time. Like, hey, I got some sweatsuits or jogging suits that I find comfort. I know at the time, when I was in college, I had a lot of friends that were student athletes, so they would wear sometimes sweats, slides. They were going to classes that were sports related. I get it, but I also remember seeing folks that were wearing bonnets, slippers, stuff that you wear when you're lounging at the house. I do think that's a bit unprofessional, because that's not how what you're gonna wear on the outside world. Now, a lot of them are, they don't wear, like the average person are not going to come to work wearing pajamas and slippers and whatnot. But Tuskegee University has a standard. It is a private institution. It is an HBCU. It's an historic Black university. But I think this primarily is a major conversation in the Black community, preparing your graduates for the future. You have a standard. It is a standard, right? Different fraternities, different sororities, they have a standard how you should present yourself, how you speak, how you dress. The public already judges somebody from their hair. And that's a shame, because that's how I started my business, was the fact that I went to a private school. I was the minority. It was a private white Christian school. Okay. And we had a no facial hair policy. Now, in my mind, I'm like, well, if that individual grows facial hair, if as long as they keep it neat, what's the issue? But see, during that period, and it still is kind of looked upon as laziness. If you go on a job interview and they're like, oh, make sure you shave, you get that off, you look like a bum, you look like, no. I was like, regardless if you are working, if you're a labor worker or working corporate America, you can still be a man of distinction while rocking a well-groomed beard or cut. No one should judge you by, your appearance. And on top of that, I'm like, hold up, I'm not going to do a shave. My skin is different from my white classmates. I'm not going to do that. So trust me, I get it when it comes to, I don't like certain rules and standards but this right here, I'm sorry. I agree with the university 110%. I think it's great. I think I'm surprised this just now coming out, and I get it. People are always going to be in their feelings like, it ain't fair. It ain't fair. And I got a morning class, and what if listen, it's the standard. School, universities, colleges, they are preparing you for the real world. And I'm sorry, the real world sucks. And the real world will judge you, especially being a person of color, especially being a African American or Black American. They will continue to judge your appearance, and they said revealing as well too. So y'all know what y'all be wearing, y'all. I don't need to say anything. But what do you think? Right? Leave a comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are on this new rule at Tuskegee University dress code. The Tuskegee University's new dress code policy on banning bonnets and do-rags. Now, I've never wore a do-rag. A lot of folks will wear do-rags for if they just got their braids redone or waves, right? Wave caps. I know some ladies would wear bonnets if they had their hair curls, and that's why I could be stepping out of my lane with the bonnets, but I mean, I don't know. I look at it as a good rule. Agree with me, disagree with me, I could care less, but I'm for this new policy at Tuskegee University. Okay, my friends, let me digress from this story. Move it on to let's talk about this. So Ryan Clark, who's a former NFL star, I think he received how many rings did he get? I think he got one or two with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ryan Clark, post retirement, has, in my opinion, done a hell of a job in the media world, right? He's become a successful sports commentator. I kind of put him in the same boat as like a Nate Burleson. So Nate started off as a sports commentator. Now he's a full-on co-host with CBS Morning News, CBS Morning News. And so I'm a fan, right? I like what I'm seeing. Nate Burleson is almost doing a similar transition like Michael Strahan. When Michael Strahan retired, right? Michael Strahan was I think he was hosting some game shows, sports competition shows, whatnot, got his feet wet. Then he nabbed a huge role as a co-host alongside Kelly Ripa on ABC. They won an Emmy. Then he got this huge ass contract with Good Morning America, and he's been on GMA forever. I've already mentioned Nate Burleson. Now you got Ryan Clark. Now this is just my crew in my opinion. Ryan Clark has been very successful on ESPN. He was a rotating person on First Take. He was on a bunch of programs on there, but he even grew a larger base with a podcast called The Pivot Podcast, along with him, former NFL stars Fred Taylor and Channing Crowder. Great show, by the way. Great podcast. But recently, Ryan Clark has found himself in a bit of a bind because, along with numerous of other faces and voices on ESPN, it was layoff time, right? And ESPN is known for doing this. They lay off folks, whether if it's notable people or newbies. And Ryan Clark was one of those folks. Him, Cam Newton was also laid off. There was a number of names, well over at least what goes across my feed, it was like well over 6 people that were notable folks. Cam was there. I mean, maybe a year and some change. I really didn't see Cam's career outlasting too long in ESPN. Nothing against Cam. I just think he's still getting his feet wet in media. He's great on his own platforms. But he has his audience. That's his style. Is dope. I think Cam will, of course, will be great in college sports, right? He was a Heisman Trophy winner, for crying out loud. there still will be a place for him in the sports world because hey, he did 11 years as a QB. Who can say that he's led a team to a Super Bowl? But going back to Ryan Clark though, so Ryan Clark was talking about the recent layoff on his podcast, the Pivot Podcast, and Fred Taylor had asked him this question here.
Guy, you've always preached accountability. Looking back over your 11 years at ESPN, 12, is there anything you would do differently, or do you leave knowing that you were fully yourself, or, what are your thoughts, man?
It's a good question. It depends on when you ask me. Like you ask me, like when I see people in public, like OGs and like aunties and stuff, and they tell me they proud of me, and they proud of like the way I represent the community. Yeah. I wouldn't change anything. Because that means the world to me. Or like when I go home and this kid, from the West Bank is like so accepted in New Orleans now. Like I wouldn't change that. Never. Like all I ever wanted to do is be accepted. And want it. So yeah, like that, I wouldn't change. If you ask me, probably the first like Monday of football, when all my friends get to do something like we did like super special together. Yeah, I'd probably change it, I'd probably work harder to like be who they wanted me to be, or like build relationships with like bosses or executives, because like it's just a relationship game. Cause like I just see these people on TV who like aren't better than me, but I know I've never been at the tables they've been accepted at. So yeah, there's some things I would do differently. I feel like there's a group of individuals who wanted to like devalue my voice, who wanted to take away my platform. I feel like I let them win.
Stand up, guy. You've always preached accountability.
All right, y'all. So let me kind of go back to let me respond that, and then we'll share you a clip of LaShawn McCoy reacting to that clip that we just played here. So Ryan Clark was getting very emotional after he was when he was asked about, hey, if you don't mind discussing, man, like, any regrets, any this, any that. And look, for an individual who came from humble beginnings but didn't have much, right? Look, 13-year career. You were a successful, obviously collegiate player, but you were successful in the NFL. Then you went on to be in the media for almost over a decade, right? In ESPN, nothing's bigger than ESPN when it comes to sports television, sports cable television. Nothing's bigger than ESPN. Also, as a very popular, famous professional athlete, it's hard to receive rejection. Okay. Now I'm not a pro athlete, never made it towards, never made it to college, but I know a lot of great athletes. I know a lot of folks that made successful in sports and made it a career too. You're always looked at as, well, the star. Not everything you do is great. You can never lose. You can never get this or never be told no in X, Y, and Z. To him, wow, after 5 years, you're like, okay, I think I'm in the clutch. Wow, now I'm at 10. Woo, I'm really good, about to be signed for. And then you're told that you're fired and it's publicly displayed, yeah, that shit hurts. Excuse my French, but that hurts. And so when you see this grown man, this husband, this father, this black man being very vulnerable, again, this is really what helped build Ryan Clark's career, I will say, especially the Pivot Podcast, because they speak on business, they speak about sports, they speak about just mental health, they speak about everything. They speak, they have humor, but they also get vulnerable. I mean, this podcast, they had episodes where, hey, Channing Crowder, excuse me, lost his dad, and they did an episode talking about. I mean, they are open up because it's like ain't nothing to hide. We're just regular friends having these open conversations. So yeah, the man was hurting. The man was hurting. The man started crying. The man said, "Wow, I feel like I let so many people down." Right? I folks that could count on me and this and that, and then I get compliments from older folks saying I appreciate you, the way you present yourself, and now I'm fired and let go. It's like it sucks. So yeah, the man is letting go some steam and letting his emotions show. And of course, social media is always going to be undefeated because you got folks that are going to say, hey, keep your head up, Ryan. Then you go see folks that are going to be like, man, this punk, this wuss, man, he over here crying X, Y, and Z. So now after saying all that, let me share you what what's his name, LaShawn McCoy, Shady McCoy, right? Well, I'm not gonna lie, hell of a running back when he was in the league, one of my faves. Here's his response to Ryan Clark's clip of him, sharing his emotional side.
Stuff for attention. It's a lot of them that do this, and I truly think that he's one of them. So the thing is, I just don't know how real this is. He might have real feelings. I don't know, but I've watched him over the years. He's such a social media dude. This is part of it. This is part of it.
I think honestly though.
So again, I'm gonna let you hear that one more time.
Does stuff for attention. It's a lot of them that do this, and I truly think that he's one of them. So the thing is, I just don't know how real this is. He might have real feelings. I don't know, but I've watched him over the years. He's such a social media dude. This is part of it. This is part of it.
I think honestly.
So okay, so very quick now. Shady McCoy is on a platform, I think, with Emmanuel Acho. I forget the name of it, the name of their podcast, because Shady McCoy, he used to be on FS1. And I'll be honest, LaShawn McCoy's persona in the media space was never to be a journalist, sharp cat. He wanted to be controversial. He wanted to be that, like, to me, I think McCoy fakes his persona when it comes to media. Shady McCoy, like, I don't know, I think he tries a little too hard. He doesn't truly just let it flow. You know what I mean? Like, whenever someone else calls somebody fake, in my opinion, I'm like, okay, the pot calling the kettle black. Like, I mean, you pointing fingers, you're really pointing at yourself when you call someone else fake. I'll be very frank. You can you can say, hey, look, I never really cared for the guy, X, Y, and Z, because that, to me, that seems like a personal opinion, right? He's a social media guy. He could be faking. Okay, he could be really in this feeling, but I don't mean, to me, it's like, guys, people do that. He might be faking. And so, like, he might be faking. First and foremost, Ryan Clark's media career, I'm just saying media career, his media career compared to McCoy's, huge difference. Huge difference. I'm sorry, no one goes to LaShawn McCoy to hear his take on stuff. No one does. Was he successful at FS1? No, it wasn't. Personally, I mean, I wasn't a fan of his he was just I don't know, man. I wasn't a fan. And to me, I think this doesn't help. But Shady's a person, I think he just doesn't care. He really doesn't. He's getting his retirement check. He's getting he made his money off his endorsements. He has 2 or 3 rings up his belt. So he's fine. He could care less. I think he has 2. I'm sorry. Yeah, one with Tampa and one with KC. Never got one with Philly. But I feel as though this is what's wrong with this, with this world sometimes, man, especially when it comes to, like, you got to be uplifting your brother when he's hurt. And again, this man was just publicly fired, okay? Publicly fired. And you're gonna be like, it don't seem real to me. It seems like, this is what he does. What are we doing here? Now, could they have had an interaction behind the scenes that's never went public? Hey, maybe, because like I said, this seems more like a personal dig in my opinion. But y'all, what's your take? Do you think, I left you with the question, was Ryan Clark's tears over the top? Or was it true? Was it real feelings? I ain't never seen Ryan Clark in no movies. I don't think he's an actor. If so, he's a damn good one, because them tears was real. Okay. But what do you think? What do you think about that, my friends? Leave us a comment, as always. Leave us a comment. Let me know what your take is. We're going to take another break here. When we come back, we're going to talk about the the first ever gospel residency that is happening in Las Vegas. Yes, my friends. You're listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Order your beard care products with Rugged Evolution. We're your local beard care line that supports the maintenance of your full, mature beard. Our line includes conditioning shampoos, moisturizers, balms, oils, shaving lotions, and exfoliating soaps. These products moisturize, hydrate, nourish, and have all the natural ingredients for a healthy beard. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
I'm Aaron Phillips. Join me Saturdays at 12:30 as I host The Voice of 757. I'll share news, events, happenings, and the people that shape the 757. That's The Voice of 757, Saturday afternoon at 12:30 right here on Sky 4.
All righty, my friends. Welcome back to the show. Next up, I want to talk about this gospel, first ever gospel Las Vegas residency. The reason why I talk about this, because I don't know, man, it's interesting to me. It really is interesting. Let me go ahead and put up a graphic here for you all who are watching me right now. For those who are listening, thank you for sticking with us. Okay, so by the way, that's one of my favorite singers of all time, Fred Hammond. That was actually my first ever concert. Was a Fred Hammond concert, but he's one of my favorite artists, not just gospel, but music artists of all times. Anyways, let me go ahead and read you this from 8newsnow.com. Gospel legends joining forces for new Las Vegas residency. Some gospel music's biggest voices are coming together for a new Las Vegas residency this fall. The Clark sisters, Fred Hammond and Dietrich Haddon, will headline the opening weekend of Legends of Gospel Vegas residency at the theater at Virgin Hotels in Las Vegas, happening October 8th and the 9th. Now, the residency is the first of its kind in Las Vegas in more than 60 years, according to news release. The 2 October performances are expected to serve as the first chapter of an ongoing concert series featuring some of gospel music's most recognizable performers. Additional artists and dates are expected to be announced in the coming months. Now, Las Vegas-based entertainment company Icon, Icon presents the residency, and Dr. Holly Carter, president and CEO of it's French, Releve Entertainment, is an executive producer. Now, Carter has worked across gospel music, faith-based entertainment, television, film, and live events, such as being the executive producer of the Lifetime biopic, The Clark Sisters, First Ladies of Gospel, in 2020. Now, quote here from Carter, she says, "For years, I have envisioned bringing gospel to Las Vegas on this scale. To now unite legendary artists in a groundbreaking residency is more than a milestone. It's a moment. Now, the opening lineup brings together artists representing different generations and styles of gospel music. Okay, I see that. Because Fred Hammond, Clark Sisters, Teacher Cadden, and that is true. That is true. Two different eras. Because if you think about it, Fred Hammond, they had the hold on, y'all. I feel, when you feel a booger in your nose, and I'm trying to take care of it. Let me kind of okay, all right, I think I got it. Great. Now I don't know if I did. Whatever. So if y'all see a booger fall on my nose, I apologize because I surely feel something in my nose. But the Clark Sisters, old school gospel. The Clark Sisters, very legendary. I mean, legends. Fred Hammond, again, when you have R&B singers that will say, I got into this music because of Commission. It was a group that he was in along with Marvin Sapp and two others. I'm blanking on the names, but three others, excuse me. But it was a dope era. Now you got Teacher Cadden, who's more of the, I'll say, more show-offy. He makes some hits. I'm not crazy about Teacher Cadden, I'll be honest. He was one of, and I think it's mainly because he was one of the OGs from this reality show called Preachers of LA. I didn't really care for that. I'll be very frank. But so that's why it does surprise me that this that he's a part of this lineup. Now, I bring this up though because I'm pretty sure there's probably Christian churches, right, in Nevada, in Las Vegas. It's just interesting because, see, a lot of folks that follow Christ will always say we need to go to where we can help serve the most, right? Where folks need help. And Las Vegas is that place, right? You're gonna find folks that have gambling problems, maybe drinking problems. You're gonna find a lot of stuff, a lot of addiction, a lot of issues in Las Vegas. Again, it's not illegal, but it's just interesting because Las Vegas is they are funded by all the stuff that I would say the church is against. So having a Las Vegas residency is, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Because I remember one time when there was a gospel awards show. I forget. I don't know if it was the Dove Awards or the Stellar Awards, but it was held in Las Vegas. And I'm like, and look, we're all not perfect. Like, I mean, hey, there's both that love the Lord and also love to, play some cards, craps table, love to get a good little beverage. You know what I mean? Like, there's a moment to enjoy yourself, have fun because you're still human. But just don't go overboard, But it's still, I don't know. It was just very interesting. And I think this always brings a conversation of like, there's levels of certain things. Like, is this more of a business or is it the calling? See what I'm saying? Like, because I look at gospel music sometimes as healing more than just the enjoyment. Now, there's of course some songs I can just be jamming to and stuff, but there's a lot of songs that are healing to me, right? There's a lot of songs that are quoted from scripture. Though when I'm going through something, I'm gonna listen to some gospel music, right? Not just on Sundays. When it hits me, I gotta listen to my gospel music. So again, that being said, I do think I love seeing, when I hear first of its kind of things. I think it's really cool. I think it will be successful. It will forever, gospel will probably compete with the overall theme of the city. But I do think it's really cool that, and they can do it. I mean, look, I was at the reunion tour concert, I think a year or two ago, and it was amazing. I mean, you had the Clark Sisters, Kurt Franklin, Fred Hammond, Marvin Sapp. It was a Kiera Sheard. It was one of, and Yolanda Adams. There we go. I knew I was forgetting somebody. So it was one of its kind. A concert I will want to do it again. But yeah, this is interesting. This is quite interesting. And just to kind of give you a quick background of each one. Okay, so the Clark Sisters, Grammy Grammy Award-winning group helped combine traditional gospel with elements of R&B and pop. Then you have Fred Hammond, who has spent more than 4 decades as a vocalist, songwriter, producer, and musician. He's also a Grammy-winning artist, is known for helping shape contemporary urban praise and worship through his solo career, and obviously his work with the group commissioned. Then you have Dietrich Haddon, Detroit native, is known for blending gospel and R&B, hip hop, and soul. First gaining his attention as the leader of Voices of Unity before building a solo career that has included multiple chart-topping gospel albums, television appearances, film projects, and I mentioned he previously worked with Dr. Carter on the Oxygen reality series Preachers of LA. So good for them. Good for them. This is quite an interesting story here. Again, one of its kind. One of its kind. How are we looking with time, y'all? Okay, I don't want to keep you up too long. I'm going to do one more story, and then I'll continue on the rest on another episode. Let me go ahead and share this last one before we close. So James Clyburn, I'm curious to hear this. James Clyburn had recently said that Black voters let Kamala Harris down. Black voters let Kamala Harris down. He was recently on a podcast called America. Was it hold up? It was I had it earlier. It was America Actually, and hosted by Asted Herdon, who's also a political analyst for CNN. He's also editorial director for Vox. Now, he on his podcast spoke with the longtime South Carolina Democratic congressman. I don't know why I'm saying congressman, who is because I'm reading another article in front of my face while I'm about to pull this up. But he spoke with James Clyburn, and he put the question to the representative, pointing to black voter turnout, arguing that Harris would have won if more Black Americans had gone to the polls. And here's their exchange. I'm about to pull up right here. Here we go. Check this out, y'all. Listen to this.
What lessons did you take from the Biden administration? Like political lessons. Like, was there any political lesson you think there is to take from an administration whose central goal was to stop Donald Trump's return? And here we are.
And he stopped it.
I mean, you stopped it and enabled, I think some would argue.
Well, when the white vote turned out 71% 2 years ago, and the black vote turned out 59%, you tell me whose fault that is.
I guess
only 59% of African Americans went to the polls 2 years ago.
It's tough for me personally to blame black voters for the last election more than it is to blame President Joe Biden.
That's the fact. It wasn't Joe Biden on the ticket. It was Kamala Harris on the ticket.
For 107 days after he decided
Kamala Harris on the ticket.
I guess I just wanted to see if there was a clear political lesson you took from that moment, and whether you think something applies in this kind of larger democratic rethink after. But I hear you. You're saying that you think it was a media problem. It was a branding problem. It was a candidate problem.
I didn't say that. The media had nothing to do with that 59%. If that 59% had been 69%, she would have won.
I guess so. Is the argument that black people let Kamala Harris down?
Oh, in many instances, absolutely. If you don't show up to vote, what are you doing?
Is there no valid reason why black voters could not have felt heard by the last Democratic election? Is there no valid reason that they would have?
There might be. I'd like to know what it is.
Ooh, I don't know about that, y'all. I don't know about that. I don't. That's tough. I mean, this man he said absolutely. 71% white vote turnout, 59% black folks turned out. Now, here's the thing where I hear the host, because James Clyburn argued that, which by the way, James Clyburn was gonna stick with Joe Biden if Joe Biden was gonna run for re-election. He said riding with Biden. He was one of them saying riding with Biden. He said Biden wasn't on the ticket, so you can't blame Joe Biden. Yes, the hell you can, because when you have a geriatric man that says, "Hey, look, I'm gonna not be a repeat president here." He basically said he's doing one term, and then teases the notion to say, "Well, I'm going to run for re-election," and then provides only 107 freaking days for a woman of color to try and run and win a presidential election that takes the average candidate, I would say, 3 years. I mean, well, look, you see Newsom always around doing stuff. Donald Trump never stopped campaigning. All those rallies of his speaking appearances, that's campaigning. That's keeping a hold of your base. That's keeping folks on the fences. Is he going to run again? Is he going to? Kamala did not have that. Yeah, she ran she received the most money, but I mean, excuse me, Clybur's not even saying it was a media issue. He's not even saying it was a marketing issue. He's not even saying like, you're literally blaming the full election on black voters, lack of black voting turnout. I mean, see, that's right there. That right there is where the messaging issue with the Democratic Party, in my opinion, comes into play. Because let's be honest, black people came out. Okay, now he had the numbers. It said it was lower than white turnout, but black people came out. Now, to say, was it a number of black people that end up voting Republican? Could be, because Kamala Harris was the whole back and forth, right, with Kamala Harris, and not a lot of people being huge fans of her. And it was a bad situation that I personally put the blame, yes, on the overall Democratic Party and Joe Biden. And I will forever put that. Now, look, nothing against Kamala Harris. I just don't think she was the strongest Democratic candidate, but she was the candidate, right? And I think everybody's stronger than Donald Trump. Anybody. Okay, hell, I would have voted for Dr. Cornel West over Donald Trump. But hey, and Cornel West ran. He almost had my vote there. He did. I'm just like, but it's a shame that we do have, again, Clyburn is very, very respected, but I just think stuff like that truly, it pisses people off. I mean, that comment kind of pissed me off, if I have to be frank here. Let me read you some of the comments from this. Some folks said, okay, Harris and Democrats let voters down, not the other way around. Refusing to learn that lesson dooms you to continue losing. I mean, 59. So someone said 59% of 13.5% of the population versus 71% of 72% of the population. Clyburn, your math ain't mathing. Okay. The majority of white voters voted for Trump, and he blames black voters. Thank you. Someone said listening to this interview is painful and really leads me to double down on believing we need changing in the DNC and age limits. I've been trying to say that, I've been saying that. Now, one person was in favor of let's see. Someone said I agree with Clyburn. The numbers don't lie. Kamala got a larger percentage of white voters than Joe Biden did. I don't know, man. That's a tough one in my opinion. It really is. And I mean, and that man was respectfully saying, I'm sorry, I can't. It pains me to come here to blame black voters that Kamala Harris won. I really do. think that was a very poor statement, again, from a long time. But see, here's the thing. That's somebody that will never admit their wrongdoing and their loss. Like, your strategy sucked. Okay. You didn't speak up when you should have. Again, when you saw how awful Biden did in the debate between him and Trump, no one won that. No one won. Everybody lost. Everybody lost. There should have been. That's the problem with the DNC and just the National Democratic Party. You got these old folks that are bitter that can never be corrected, and they blame everybody else but themselves. Y'all, I think my time has come as to close this. I'm finished talking about Clyburn. I might continue to vent on the next show. I'm not sure yet, but y'all had a few stories that I wanted to share on the last one, but I'll transition those to the next show. Until next time, my friends, thank you for sticking with us. Stay safe. Stay midterm season, so make sure you're casting out your votes for early voting and primary voting. But I will talk to you soon for another great conversation here on the Arrington Gavin Show. I'm out.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.